Off it again, and hello, it's Vo, and welcome back to Turbine City. Last time we were eyeing up putting in the International Airport. We've got a couple of underground power cables in the way, so we're going to get them deleted and try and get this airport placed. Hopefully that's going to bring in more tourists into the city, and generally be another way to get people in. Maybe some of those tourists will stay and turn into citizens, help get our numbers up. Generally the addition of extra things, extra services and connections and things should provide a boost to the appeal of the city. Our happiness numbers seems to be going up a little bit. We'd like to keep it up in the, several hundreds. So the 300 to 500 range is the best sort of growth rate. So let's see how long we can keep up the growth rate. Hopefully it'll stay like this for a little while. We'll get a few more thousand people in. We'll get a few more water services in, pipes and pumps, just to get us back into the green for both, while still maintaining that margin so we don't get flooding. Take more out of the river than we put back in. Then later on down the line, when we get everything finished and get these last 50,000 people in, we can develop the harbour area. We can set up some proper eco outflow pipes there, some actual in-game assets rather than using these ones, and that'll lower the river itself. If it lowers it too much, we can maybe do a little sort of terraforming, so it's this sort of same depth all the way along. So we could do a little work on the river at the end as well, make it more sort of natural. For the meantime, we're just gonna keep using it for the water in and out, keep a level up for our ferries. Yeah, now we've got all our public transport networks sort of hooked up in the middle here. People can get the plane in, then switch to a train or the metro. The airport has a metro built in, so we'll have to get on extending those networks at some point as well. Get everything hooked up so we've got a solid metro network throughout the city. We'll work on getting some roads in first. We'll try and get our two roundabouts connected, parallel to the highway. We've come a little bit close to the edge here, so we want to be sort of one unit back. Yeah, that's more like it. Then we can come up and then come across. That just ensures that we've got clearance for the ferries going underneath. Can maybe get one more bridge in as well, about sort of halfway between these two. Chop this up a little bit more. Give ourselves plenty of room away from the airport. That'll give us another direct route. Maybe have the majority of our housing over here next to our cargo airport hub, and then the majority of our unique buildings and things over next to the airport, the International Airport. The airport tends to give off more noise. It's just a bigger asset, so harder to wrap residential around there. Oh no, I'm noticing some icons coming from our commercial over there. I'm pretty sure that's the "we don't have enough goods" icon. So we've gone from having too much industrial, or factories don't have enough customers, to all of a sudden next time I spot it, all of the shops are suddenly without goods. The game's trying to say, hey, you missed out on putting in a load of industrial, we need more factories. I feel like I've been thinking that for a while. So unless the game gives us a sudden demand for industrial, and get some factories in to better serve these areas of commercial where they're struggling, do a bit of redevelopment. If it doesn't give us that demand, then a lot of the shops are going to die out. Really strange considering we gave them an extra asset, gave them an extra way to get cargo and stock up their shops, and it's right nearby. I thought the simulation was back under control after the industrial had stopped giving us those complaint icons. But that was just the sort of tipping point before the problems sort of switched the other way. I think the game's just sort of caught up with the idea that there wasn't enough industrial in the city to serve all that commercial. I didn't think there was, but I don't know where it's gone wrong, but it's certainly gone wrong somewhere. I really got some false hope last episode that simulation was going to behave itself. As I say, if it gives us a demand for industrial again, we can fix it. If not, we just have to let some of the commercial die out so it sort of rebalances itself. There's not much else I can do. I guess we'll just keep popping in roads here, set up for the residential area. I don't think this one strip of offices alone is going to contain the noise coming from the hub, so can maybe get some service buildings and things along the other side of that road. Get this chopped up a couple more times. We can get a few small roads in, get a little bit zoned. Really, as long as our growth is in the green, our numbers are positive, we've got a demand for residential. If the game will let us just put in these last 50,000, we'll call it a draw. But as before, the problem might be intermittent. They all might stop complaining all of a sudden, just as quickly as they started. So I have to not worry about it just now and focus on the end game. Focus on getting across the line. I'll get some water across here. Get this whole tile covered. I'll start working here to get in our residential. Let's say we probably want some public service buildings to help with the noise that's going to come off from the hub. Get a hospital in, and get in the old elder care, child care combo. Want to block the noise sort of all the way along the road. So we'll spread these things out. Maybe use parks or whatever to connect the power between them all. We've still got unique buildings and things to place. Could get a few of the bigger things in over next to the airport. Try a few of the smaller things over here, where our residential area will appreciate them. Cathedral's more likely to be in an area that has houses. People aren't going to fly in for a visit to that, I don't think. We don't have any need for commercial, and we're probably not going to have need for commercial for some time. Not at least until the game sorts itself out and fills back up all the spaces that are being created by all these buildings disappearing now. So we'll focus on trying to use buildings to sort of fill this bit up. Parks rather than trying just to zone it. Hopefully be good coverage for this tile and our previous tile on the other side there. Some central services in here can't hurt. Get this in here, we can maybe find a small park. Just fill up that last little gap. Our power's already connected, but as I say, I think if we pop in just some commercial zoning, it's probably not going to come in. Don't know if that's going to be enough to absorb all the noise. We'll get another ferry stop in, just so the people that move into this area have got good connections to the rest of the ferry network. We'll come off the large road to the medium one and connect up the small road that's attached to the ferry stop like this. Help keep the traffic good. We'll get this little bit covered with water. Then we can get the pipes connected across the river, get everything connected up. Extra bit of redundancy, I like to think it helps with the pressure and the flow. If everything's connected up to itself and each other. One gigantic grid. The tree arm's pretty small, I don't know if I want it right on the edge here. Potentially getting flooded. We're still a ways off getting our climate research station. That's the last thing to unlock. The observatory is going to help us get to the fusion power plant, but I'd like to put that up on a hill somewhere. Maybe place it and then move it later on when we find a better place. Or just make a hill. It's usually what I do when I'm trying to place the castle. Maybe get the floating garden somewhere, but I think we need to put in the ferry line first, so we know we can get past it. Seems to be a little bit awkward here. It's not going to let us through. So even with the Move It mod, you have to sort of get the line, the segment placed before you can move it. So it's the same sort of struggles as it is with or without Move It. It's easier with the mouse, obviously. But yeah, it's a universal struggle sometimes. Also, we've got the bridge high enough. We've also got that rail to contend with. So I have to find the sort of perfect line. There we go. I'll often sort of come backwards or try a few ways through to get around this problem. Yeah, it's being very finicky with me. Doesn't want to go. See if we can get this attached. There we go. So yeah, it's a bit of a universal struggle, that one. We get the line extended just by dragging it to include this extra stop on the end. Nice and easy when you're Ferries are just going back and forth in a straight line. Yeah, I guess now we put in our small roads. We can get these houses built. Yeah, I get the feeling residential may be the only demand we see for a little while the industrial and commercial sorts itself out. If I see the need for industrial jump up, I'll know the simulation is at least trying to sort itself out. That'll be something positive to see. At least the population isn't dropping too badly. Seem to be going backwards, but hoping it'll sort of even itself out. I don't have much faith in this commercial coming in, or the IT buildings over here for that matter. We've got one IT building. It's a good start. It's better than nothing. I'll take what I can get at this point. Yeah, sometimes the simulation behaves pretty strangely once you get up to these high numbers. It's a lot for it to process, all the routes for the traffic, to supply all the shops and things like that. So yeah, sometimes the simulation loses the plot a bit. Sometimes it fixes itself. Sometimes you can fix it by switching around some zoning, but that's only if you have a need. If you don't have any demand, then there's not much you can do. You know, you can zone things, but it won't come in. At least we've left enough of a gap for ourselves. We can happily get a whole bunch of residential in this tile from here back. And if the shops and the IT buildings come in, great. If they get abandoned elsewhere in the city and then want to come back in here, make it look nice and complete, that's fine. I don't know if it's random or if they choose a place that has better connections or higher land value. Like if you started from the beginning and the whole city was zoned, which place would they choose to build first? Assuming everything's connected with power and water and things. I don't know what the choice would be, whether it would be next to a highway to have the best outside connections or what. Yeah, strange mysteries of the sort of core game mechanics, the simulation itself. Sort of get to see it on display when you start pushing your luck, either with mods or just trying to push the population. It's not usually this early on. It's usually about, you know, late 600,000, early 700,000 I get a problem. Well, despite disaster, you know, we've lost 5,000 people. Our university's leveled up. So we'll get all this stuff popped in. Becoming more likely I can achieve the side goal of getting all the university stuff, all the campus stuff prestigious before the end of the playthrough. Before we were hurtling towards the end but getting nowhere with the university. Now that's flipped round on us. We've got 5,000 less people but more people wanting to go to university. So, who knows? We'll get everything popped in where we can. This isn't going to fit on here. It thinks it's too close to the water. It's probably right, we don't want it to get flooded. Math club, I think it's going to be small, yeah. And popped in here, no bother. Library, not sure if that was one we unlocked last level. we'll get it placed just to be sure to be sure. The fountain, I think we've definitely placed that before. We're definitely duplicating things now. Yeah, this is where we placed it last time. Well, now we've got 2 fountains. People really enjoyed it the first time. There's going to be twice as many people in the university now. So twice as many people can enjoy the fantastic fountains. Well, people building in here at least. Population's gone down, but we've got more houses occupied, so... Got a couple of shops coming in. Don't know if that's because shops elsewhere in the city have been abandoned and they've just thought, right, we're gonna go somewhere completely new. Same business is sort of relocated down here, don't know. I don't know if it's random or there's a sort of priority system. And where's the best location for the places to start building in? Be it commercial or industrial or whatever. So we'll get this covered with some more small roads so we can zone it. Not seen any demand for anything other than houses, so I guess we just fill up this entire tile with houses and then see what happens. Either the game will sort itself out and we'll get some demand again, or we'll just keep popping in houses never endingly until we get up to the 500,000. Any which way, I'm committed to getting to the end, so whatever we have to do, we'll do. But I'd like to think the simulation would get there on its own. It usually does. It has done previous times that I've played and under the same circumstances, you know. I think the most I've got is 700 and something thousand. But yeah, pretty much in every case, it's always, you know, you play until the simulation breaks. Then you give up and you start again. But it's one of these things you don't even mind. It's an enjoyable experience playing City Skylines, so... Yeah, I definitely want to reach the target, get to the 500,000. At least we're back up to 450. We're sort of going back in the right direction. At least we've still got a demand for residential as some sort of saving grace. So I'll just keep zoning. Leaving it to run and everyone move in and just hope that some sort of demand keeps returning. Thankfully we've not got very far back up towards where we were, but we've got a little bit of demand again, so same again. We'll zone the next little bit and we'll let it go. See what happens. Yeah, it kind of feels at this stage that the game's playing me, not the other way around. I was pretty delicate with it, and yeah, I thought I would give them some extra services, but that was the point. It seemed to give up on me. Look at this zoning in, so as tidy as I can. We'll come back next time and see what the effect is. Maybe if we can get through another few zonings like this, we'll be in a better place. We'll come back next time and find out. Until then, take it easy. I'll see you in the next one.